What's up, East Coast fam? We've got a pretty special one for you today. As many of you already know, I've been traveling for work over the past 2 years or so, and that has allowed me to gain enough points through airline and hotel point systems where Victoria and I were able to take a free trip as far as travel goes out to California. Of course, while we were out there, I popped the question, and thank God she said yes. So we're excited, planning a wedding slowly. It'll be 1.5 to 2 years before we get married, but an exciting new chapter for both of us. We spent 5 days out there, and so one of the days able to ride out at Glen Helen on, believe it or not, a KTM. Yes, a KTM. Mainly because I've been wanting to ride a 350 for a long time. Really quick on the bike rental, Kurt Nickel, Champion MX out there in California. It was a great experience riding his bikes. Huge shout out to Brian Medeiros, I believe how you say his last name. He actually brought the bike for Kurt because Kurt was having hip surgery on the day that I rode. So huge shout out to him. But for the money, you don't have to worry about the bike, damaging the bike. You don't have to worry about gas. And this bike I had 28 hours on it when I hopped on it. 2023 model, brand new. Like, you're not gonna beat it. I highly recommend. My quick review on it would be that I didn't really enjoy the rider triangle on the KTM. I'm so used to the Honda, and it is really hard to beat a Honda in that department. So as far as the bike, I wasn't a huge fan. The steel frame and everything's a lot different. It was a fun bike to ride, don't get me wrong, but the biggest thing is that motor. I would kill to have a 350 motor in my Honda frame because it takes off so much of the inertia from the motor that its corners easier, it makes it feel lighter. A 250, you really just don't have enough power. You hop off a 450 back onto a 250 and you're just like, where's it at, you know? But with this 350, it really has enough grunt off the bottom, and then you can really open it up and ride it harder. It makes me sick. Honda, Yamaha, everybody else, get on the 350 train, please. I would race a 350 against a 450 any day. But anyways, guys, that's my rant on that. And also, need to give you guys an update. Had a lot going on, obviously. Had a huge crash at Silver Valley on the Friday practice before their big pro shootout. I'll go ahead and play it again here for you if you haven't seen it somehow, but it's insane. I am so lucky to be walking away from that with just a partially bummed shoulder. I believe I either pulled or partially tore my labrum, but that's just speculation at the moment. I haven't gotten an MRI. I've been holding off to see how it's going to progress. So to give a breakdown on the series of events that led up to this crash on that Friday, I had tested that jump for Thad when he initially built it, and that was most likely my downfall, that I was overconfident in jumping it. And so he had a practice the weekend before the race, that Saturday, and I came around and jumped at second lap that day, no problem. Everything's fine. So they were having a whip contest on the jump, so I completely understand why you would, you know, put a little bit more of a peak on it to be able to throw good whips off of it. I understand. So I was also running a MX-14, and that thing was hooking up. I'll throw a screenshot right here. I'm throwing roost like 30, 40 feet going up the lip. It's kind of insane, honestly. You can even see every single little paddle. Anyways, it's my own fault for not realizing the changes that had been made on the first lap and not being comfortable with the amount of traction I had with this tire. The combination of those variables being changed on me is what led to that second lap. I came around and hit it like I normally would, and that thing sent me to the moon. Felt like I was in the air for minutes. I remember coming down, and obviously the impact was insane, and it blew me off the back of the bike. And so at that point, as I'm at whiskey throttling up that next lip, I realized that I had just had to let go. And so I remember trying to keep myself forward, and then I realized that my momentum had me swinging. I was gonna do a backflip either way. So I finally just committed to rolling around and just braced for impact. And I am so lucky to be walking away from that, honestly. It's just, I go back and watch the video and I still am baffled by it. So backing up, I watched the crash for the first time in this virtual reality headset that the guy who owned the drone who got the footage had, and it's crazy how I got linked up with him throughout the weekend and was able to get a hold of the footage. But this was literally the first time that he was taking his drone onto the track for the day. And you know, I'm like practice 9, it's like midday, the odds of it are just astronomical. But sure enough, I had his SD card in my computer and everything, and it was the first clip on the SD card. He's just coming through the woods from his camper, coming onto the track, and boom, there I am. It's like it was meant to happen. I don't know. Can't really explain it, of course, but it's weird. It's crazy that I got footage of it. Anyways, too much crash talk recently, pros, amateur, everything, so let's move on from that subject. Next year, I've got big plans. I would love to make a run at Loretta's in 25 plus. Currently in the process of upgrading to a new camera. Gonna have a better setup in general. We're gonna try and rock and roll some videos, give you guys some more behind the scenes. That's really what we struggle on, is having the camera rolling around the pits, and I have got to do more of that because that's really the good stuff. So more of that to come next year. Honestly, we just love doing this thing. Everything from capturing the footage to editing to seeing the reaction on people's faces when you get to show them an awesome clip of them. Or oh boy, Leo wanted to join the party. Yeah, can you say hey? Yeah, can you say hey? But yeah, we're looking forward to a good year. It should be fun, guys, so I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy the video.
David, what's your Instagram handle?
David Lambeth 16. So speaking of this, last weekend I had this gnarly get off, and my shoulder still feels a little bit let me take you straight to this. Overshot the first one. Yeah. So that's Silver Valley, the track in my backyard. Show him. It's so crazy, bro. Crazy. I'm lucky to be standing right here. Yeah.
He said the other side on Instagram somewhere.
Right?
All over Instagram.
Is that not crazy? If I wouldn't have let go of that bike at the right time,
oh, it would have went off the next one even worse.
bro. So
like a backflip in the air with your body.
Full backflip. I'm so lucky because I was so mad at myself instantly. A, because I had been waiting on that race for like a year, and then B, because I was coming here. But thank God, I'm very lucky, man. He showed me all the good lines. That's all it was.